What's up, everybody? This is Sean, aka Kensuketi, here with another intro for you because we are doing a two-parter. So, the first portion is going to be what was supposed to be part of the entirety of our Beast Machines episode. However, that was going to be a 3-hour episode, and I didn't feel like having to work with all of that as one episode. So, after managing to get everything aligned, we're going to go ahead and split this up into the first hour and 15 minutes of that particular episode. And it's all going to be mostly about Mobile Suit Gundam Gquuuuuux. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Mobile Suit Gundam Gquuuuuux special. So, one other thing I want to let you know is that there were some audio technical issues. Surprisingly, not from the same person as before. You'll notice that there are a little bit of, thunking noises, and it's best just to try to ignore it as best as you can, mainly due to the fact that I am trying to extend the audio as from those noises to get everything aligned. So hopefully it's semi-noticeable and you can ignore it for the most part, but just to make sure you understand that it's there. Thanks again. Enjoy Gundam Gquuuuuux.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome once again to a tale of wars. The Beast Wars. That I should have led with that. That's not a great way to start. Welcome to the tale of not Beast Wars, but the machines that were in the Beast Wars, but now look really weird. On this week's episode of Big Mecha, but not huge, we want to bring you some of our thoughts. I'm joined by
Hello.
Sean and
Hello,
Paul.
everyone. How are you doing?
Don't ask him. Don't ask them. You shut your mouth. You shut your dirty mouth.
That is a bit of a continuation of some of the backstage dramatics for our program, but don't worry, they're not actually physically near each other, so someone is safe. No.
You don't need to know. I know where you live.
That is
and
true.
I will come for you.
That is
I
very true.
don't know where you live. A less threatening statement has never been made. I don't know where you live. Well, Anywho. How are you gentlemen doing? How has the weeks been? And anything Mecha related?
I've got a lot, but I'm going to let this pissant go first.
Wow. Rude.
I'm just going to be honest. Everyone, he is attacking me out of spite and out of jealousy.
Jealousy?
Because he doesn't look this handsome.
Motherfucker!
It's the truth.
That doesn't sound like the right word. I don't think that was the word.
I am mad because you didn't watch the fucking show like we asked you to do a month ago.
It has not been a month. Has it been?
Yeah.
Since he originally posted, yes. He then posted a reminder 2 weeks ago, then another reminder a week ago, and then a reminder several days ago.
Thank you for backing me up, Will. Am I allowed to kick him out onto your podcast today?
No. We're going to try and keep three viewpoints going. We're going to have the angry volcano in the corner, the beautiful oasis over here, and then the roiling storm on the other side. I know that sounds like 2 cataclysms and then 1 small island that is going to get steamrolled, but, we've all read the K. Anywho, Paul, have you enjoyed anything related besides Machines of the Beast?
I've enjoyed some more. Okay, what just happened?
Don't worry about it. I was fixing something.
Oh, okay. So he dropped me then. Add me back.
It was the program. Continue.
Okay. Yeah. I was enjoying some more of. I enjoyed some more of Armored Core 6. Why could I not say that for so damn long?
I don't know, but I'm gonna have to edit that. Thanks.
Trauma. It hurts.
Was playing some Armored Core 6, and I've also went back and was researching some Gundam lore as well, just because I was trying to put things together. For
How was Sayla? Should they have drawn her that way? Very good questions.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing this week, and wanting to make sure everything was okay.
Cool.
Are you
John?
done?
I have seen you doing some G Generation, still continuing on your journey through that.
Oh man, I've been doing a lot of mecha stuff these past 2 weeks because we didn't record last week, but again, that's more behind the scenes stuff. Obviously, we're going to talk about it, but I watched a lot of Gundam. including the last two Gquuuuuxes, which we will get into.
Oh,
but I've watched
so
a ton of original Mobile Suit Gundam.
You got halfway, right?
Yeah, I finished the first volume, which I have a little bit of a bone pick with the cover art that they used for the first volume. It's the first 22 episodes, and on the cover of it, it's the Gundam versus Char's Gelgoog. The Gelgoog is not in that volume.
No, that
I get
fight
why they
happens
went with the cover,
later.
but come on.
Well, what would have made more sense if they're going to do that is do the both. Second volume is Char Gelgoog. First volume is Char Zaku. Both are Gundam versus that, but they tell both halves of the story because probably that fight being referenced with the Gelgoog is a massive turning point for the story and the characters. So you would want to show the growth and the change and have that moment represented rather than having it on the first volume, which, as you said, isn't even in there. So if you bought it, you would just be lost. You're like, what the hell is that thing? I don't know. I watched 22 episodes. It's not even in it.
It's a good thing that I was enjoying the show on its own in general, but oh man, like after the last episode of Gquuuuuux that came out, I was like, you know what? I'm really itching to watch more Gundam stuff. So as soon as we finished Beast Machines, I was like, I guess I'll save Metabot's, Japanese, subs for later. I really need to dig into Gundam again. And man, it has been a trip. It's wait. All right. So to preface this, I believe I've said this before. My only watch time of the original Gundam from before has only been the DVD movie trilogy. I had never really seen the actual show on Toonami because as a kid, I was grounded a lot. So I never really had the chance to watch it. So, like, I didn't even finish DBZ until after we finished high school, and I was able to buy all the DVDs. So,
oh wow,
with Gundam, Right Stuff, before they were absorbed, they ended up releasing all the different Gundam series, and so I was able to go ahead and get
not all, but like even 90% of Gundam was represented in their line. By the time they were done.
Like 95.
Like, by the time they finished. When they first started, it was just the original show, and then they slowly chipped away at the, like, backlog, including doing 0080 on DVD, and a year later, they got the rights to do a Blu-ray cut. But, like, yeah, by the time they eventually got dissolved, they had, like, almost every Gundam show in active print, and then immediately dropped it, which really fucking sucks. But, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. But the cool thing about watching these particular Blu-rays is that they still have the Right Stuff logo not only on the case, but actually in the Blu-ray files themselves. Wow. So you see this little animation where it's Haro jumping around.
Yeah, they had a Haro animation, which was really cool because they worked directly. So the agreement was Right Stuff and Sunrise, I believe. It was direct to the animation. It was not through Bandai Namco. It was not Sony. It was none of that. It was direct to Sunrise, and it was a direct connection. Because Right Stuff was big enough at that point to get those kind of deals, and they kind of tested the waters with that first one, and then realized, oh, we could probably make like a lot of money. And they, I assume, did, because they went to print them all, and they never went out of print. Like, they were still printing the original Gundam while brand new releasing new shows. Like, for the first time 3 years in, they released Turn A, and then they were still printing the first Gundam. So it wasn't like one show at a time. They were just actively printing the catalog. It was really cool.
Not to mention they were also putting out like giant, really cool Blu-ray collections of Gundam Wing, Gundam
They were putting out separate collections.
Yeah.
Some of those were direct through Sunrise.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it, a little bit of a thing here, where if you bought or pre-ordered the Blu-rays for the collector's edition of Seed, somehow they ended up messing up the copies that were actually that you were supposed to be given. So on the original box set that you get, they ended up getting SD cuts, or not? It was SD cuts of the original show that was aired on broadcast. So it didn't have all the stuff that was actually meant to be done for the retail releases. So they didn't realize that until after it had shipped out. People started making complaints. They're like, oh man, oh crap, we got to fix this. So they reached back out to Sunrise, got the original copies, and then sent everybody the correct copies in a brand new, box set, basically, for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they had technically mislabeled and sold the wrong item.
Yeah.
So
it was really, really cool that Right Stuff was like that, and now they're no longer here, sadly.
Yep.
But back to original Gundam, this show is fantastic. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like it's as messed up as I had always wanted, back
Yeah.
from Gundam stuff. And what's even weirder
Oh,
is that
Tomino.
after watching the original trilogy so long ago when I was a kid, and then playing all the different games, you kind of are led into one degree of basically how certain plots play out, like how certain people die or anything like that, because the show completely changes that. Like playing G Genesis Generation or G Generation Genesis, whatever you want to call it. They have Ryu, who is one of the pilots on the White Base who likes to pilot the Core Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
They have him square up against Ramba Ral, and he dies against Ramba Ral.
Matilda. Yes. Yep.
But in the show, that's not it. In the show, he dies around that time, but he ends up trying to protect Amuro from Haman, who is Ramba Ral's love interest.
Wife.
And
they were married.
Basically, were they wife?
Yeah, they were married.
Well, anyways.
Yeah, it was his wife. It was his wife, Haman, who he loved her beyond reason.
Oh, yeah.
She was also very, very flirtatious with Amuro, and I'm like, he's 15, man.
I would never think he was being flirtatious. I thought he was just being, like...
He literally says,
Uncle
"Oh man,
Grandpa.
She really likes you, boy. You gonna go after her?" Like,
oh
God.
That's your uncle being like, "So you like girls yet?" That's what that is. Yeah, that's the uncomfortable.
And then he says the same thing to her, so But then once Frau Bo comes in, he's like, "Oh, so that's your girlfriend, huh?" And then she licks her lips. I'm like, "Whoa, whoa!"
Getting a peek into the old bedroom, man.
Yeah. But then he dies, protecting Amuro from her. And then like a whole bunch of other stuff that the movies omitted. And obviously
the movies are a recut of the show, but there is a bunch missing. Yeah. Like if you really want all of Gundam, rewatch
that's what
the
I
show.
lived my lore on.
Interesting.
But now that I'm watching the show is just fantastic. However, I found out something that I told Will about, but I don't know what you knew about this, Paul. There's an episode missing from the American and pretty much all the other broadcasts. Episode 18, called Gquuuuuux Doan's Island. That is a mouthful. Guess what?
Is that? Yeah.
That's the one that they turned into a movie 3 years ago. Yeah. So it turns out Tomino had actually, like after it was broadcast, he said that, hey, I don't like the way this episode turned out. There's a lot of animation errors, and if you actually go onto like the Gundam fandom sites or anything like that, you can actually see snippets of what the actual episode looked like. There is a Zaku in there that looks like it's pencil thin, basically. It's super thin. It's really weird to look at. But it's also kind of like how you see like Fat Gundam sometimes, or like when Bright beats the living shit out of Amuro, he turns around and extends his arms in a weird way. It's like that. So,
I think there was just an issue with proportions and distance.
Okay, you say that.
Drawing distances.
You say that, show. But there's that picture that I sent both of you. No, the video that I sent both of you. And I said, why does this fucker have fucking Code Lyoko forehead?
Code Lyoko head. He does. That head is like 2/3 the size of his torso.
And here's the thing.
That is very top-heavy, boy.
It's not who you think it is. It's not Kai. It's just a random soldier who they focus on for 10 seconds, and then he's never seen again. I think he probably might die later on because Ramba Ral invades in that episode.
I mean, most people die on White Base except for like the main cast, and I mean, no guarantees there. Name characters bite it in the show too.
Yeah. So seeing him, I'm like, why is this? And like, you look at all the other people that are in that particular scene. Everyone else looks fine. No, this guy just has a really ridiculous head.
I think it was back in the day, they did not know how to draw proportions.
It is also possible because there were a lot of proportion issues throughout the show so far.
Because literally, you can watch a lot of the show and a lot of shows after. There are huge issues with proportion, and I'm not just saying Gundam. You can go back to the original Dragon Ball. There was issues with proportion. Back then, it wasn't like a thing that they studied or paid attention to. They just thought, okay, if the character is closer to the camera, that portion of the character needs to be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Not like
the part of that you are correct. Over time, so And this is a whole separate conversation involving the idea of hand-drawn animation versus digital. Why that's even a discussion is because we've only been animating digitally for 20-ish years at this point. Hand-drawn animation goes back to the 1930s. So by the time we put it down and let it go, people had been animating for their entire lives, and then a second, third, fourth, fifth generation of animators were all trained in it, and techniques were developed over time to make the animation better. Gundam, the original, if you compare this, which I did not realize because I haven't watched it, if you compare this to Zeta, Zeta happens real time almost directly after the original show. Like Gundam
Yep.
comes out and Zeta happens like within 3 to 5 years. It's coming out.
They were basically already gearing up for it by the time they finished the first show anyway, because it's weird. Even though it took place in 85, yeah, it was 85, but it came out a lot sooner than that, I think.
So yeah, and Zeta, if you look at the animation, it looks so much better than the original Gundam. Saying both of those are the same studio, basically the same team, obviously not like 1-to-1, but saying that's the same studio, same team, animating the same world, it feels closer to what you would consider movie level for Zeta than it did for the original. And that's because a bunch of stuff changed. They got more money, they got more time, they got better at what they were doing, and it did improve as they went forward. Then you compare that to like Double Zeta, or I watched the first episode of Turn A Gundam, and I was just sitting there going, "This is a fucking movie. What the hell?"
I thought I saw somebody watching that on my account.
Yeah, I'm now mad at myself for not just buying the damn show when it was out on Blu-ray, and now you can't. But whatever. If it ever comes out again, maybe I'll give it a shot. But the show,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If Gundam ever comes back out for purchase on Blu-ray,
I have to buy it while it's printed.
Yes, if they ever reprint it, I am going to buy it.
I mean, why do you think I
didn't realize that right stuff getting absorbed would make it go away so fast. I went full hog on all
those Blu-rays as soon as that came out. The only one that I don't have is Gundam X, but that's because I already had it on DVD, and I figured, I haven't watched this one. It doesn't really have any sentimental value to me. I'll just go ahead and grab the DVDs.
But I will say, I do agree. When I first saw Zeta, I thought it was an OVA.
Oh, it feels like it.
Though it wasn't.
You know that they came out with a new movie trilogy for it called The New Translation.
Really?
Yes, that came out not that long ago. I think like 8 years ago.
Within the last 10 years, yeah.
It had some reanimation in it too. It was the movie treatment for Zeta, which they had never done originally, so they were doing it for the first time, and they reanimated some stuff, they cleaned a bunch up, and this was before they had done Blu-ray releases of Zeta, so it was that came out first. Then they started doing the Blu-ray cuts and releasing those through Sunrise and everything. Speaking of, did you do anything else Mecha related, or was it mostly those?
So I got a little bit more. So speaking of Kukuru's Doan's Island, that is a movie, and I decided, you know what, since I finished the first volume, I will go ahead and watch this movie, because technically it takes place, within the time frame of that volume I watched.
You've technically already seen it.
Well, no, I've never seen it, because it's not part of the.
Technically, you did, because you went 1 through 22, and it was episode 18. It
wasn't part of the Blu-rays. The episode wasn't in there.
Yeah, but
motherfucker, I know what you're doing. You stop it. You stop it right now.
Pedant. Stop being a pedant. I had a spray bottle.
So
only I had a spray bottle.
I watched that movie today, and honestly, it's a really good movie. It's exactly what you would expect out of a Gundam movie where it's based off of the original 0079 story. It's got kids involved, but it's Amuro actually respecting other areas outside of his own, vicinity. And so it's him actually learning how to do things with other people, trying to actually see a different perspective outside the war. It's also got some really cool action scenes. There's a Zaku trio. They're like brown Zakus with jetpacks on them that are basically they're as mobile as Doms, so they're incredibly horrifying. Not to mention the pilots are actually way more psychotic than you would normally expect out of a 0079 era type enemies.
That was more of a after thing. Like as they went back, they started writing crazier and crazier characters.
Yeah.
See Thunderbolts. All of the people in Thunderbolts are absolutely insane, except for like 2 people who are both on Xeon's side, weirdly enough. But like 2 people are normal. Everyone else is insane. Some of them are on drugs.
Oh, you even see like random Fetty soldiers in this one, like even like higher ups who just have the most weirdest affectations to them. To where one of them sounded straight up like the guy who plays Sulu from Star Trek. It was just weird.
That's weird.
George Takei?
Yeah, George Takei, thank you. So
is it George Takei or George Sakai?
I think it's Takei, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not Japanese, so I don't
know. Instead of Kai, so probably K, not Kai.
Yeah.
I'm taking a guess, but Ke instead of Ka.
So I watched that, and then the last thing that I want to get into, I also watched Love, Death, and Robots.
I love Death, and Robots.
You watched all of it?
I've watched all of the first season. I watched the first 3 episodes of the second season. This show is amazing. It's so good.
It is. Yeah. It's a fucking art project, and I love it.
Yes. And
I will say
the way
my
that
favorite is still that first episode.
So here's the interesting about that. I watched it out of order by accident because the way that my buddy uploaded it. Well, obviously it's anthology, so technically your first episode would not be my first episode because Netflix did some weird metadata shit where they had the first default order, for some people, but then they ended up doing a different order for other people.
Wow, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I watched it when it first came out as Love, Death, and Robots. That first year it was out.
Huh.
And my first episode was the Monster Splice, where Chick was the actual
arena fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonny's Edge. So technically that is the first episode of the default order. My first episode was 3 robots.
The tourist?
I love those
episodes.
That's a really funny episode.
It's so good.
I love
and then at the end where the cat is Chris Parnell, I'm like, oh my god.
Just messing with him. I love
Side
that.
tangent on that. I really want to hear Chris Parnell in an anime. I think he would do really well. Not in an action anime, but like one where he's like a military soldier or something like that. I think he could do it. I honestly think he could. But my favorite episode so far, I have 2 that are neck and neck for me. One is Beyond the Aquila Rift, which is absolutely fantastic. It's so good.
Is that the one where they keep waking up and groundhogging, and then you know why?
Groundhogging.
Groundhog, like the entire day repeats.
I know
over
what you
mean,
but I'm trying to.
That's the murder episode. I don't think that's the.
Okay.
No.
Episode.
This is the one where it's all in space, and this guy ends up waking up after seeing his ship. Like he was originally in hypersleep, and he woke up, and like the ship is in complete disarray, and then it's being boarded by some chick that he knew from long ago. He was like, "Oh wow, this is weird."
Right.
And so.
Okay, I remember that one. I know how that one ends. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I like that one a lot.
That one's really, really good.
So good.
That was my number 1.
That's great science fiction.
But that changed
story.
This morning.
Well, you started season 2, so.
Really?
No. My other number 1 from season 1, it is the one involving the folklore between the. It's Good Hunting. It's the one where.
Kasune one?
Yeah, that one. And then how it basically goes from folklore to sci-fi body horror with mecha. I'm like, oh my god. Like, it's straight up one of the best stories ever made.
That one is beautiful from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like, I think the animation for that was beautiful. The storytelling was beautiful. The pacing was great. And even the musical beats was amazing.
Yeah. It solidified itself as my number 1 for that
Makes
season.
Sense.
Season 2, I don't have a number 1 yet.
I'll say my favorite is the arena fight, but also just because of the mecha, and it made me feel like this should have been a game. The mecha truckers.
Oh,
you know what?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. You're not talking about the farmland one. You're talking about the one where it's where they're actually like doing a heist mission, right?
No, I'm talking about the one that they're on a farm.
Okay, so that one,
that one. I like, after going through a dark period of watching dark anime, I kind of started liking more lighthearted shit. So this was lighthearted enough. It had enough action in it. I enjoyed it.
The premise behind it is really cool. I like that one a lot. I don't think
Also,
I
it
would like it
reminded
as
me
a game
so
because I realize that it's basically horde-based stuff, and I cannot get into
Oh,
horde-based stuff anymore.
oh yeah. I think it's because it reminded me of Lost Planet 3 when you have the mech.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminded me of so much, and I have just great memories of playing Lost Planet 3. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
But
So
that was one of the, and I think I'm actually going to see if I can get that again because I really like Lost Planet.
So that's all that I've done. I mean, obviously I've been playing G Generation Genesis, but Will,
Mm-hmm.
what have you done mecha related?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't entirely know why, but my brain decided yesterday, hey, you haven't Gundammed in a while. You want a Gundam? And I was like, oh, okay. So I went on Netflix, and they're losing 3 Gundam movies, in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
Quote unquote losing, whatever.
It's probably going to go to current
They're going
Crunchyroll.
probably. They're in Japanese. They're not even in English.
And that's
They're.
Crunchyroll's MO, right?
You know what's really weird? Those 3 are in English. They're also losing Char's Counterattack. Or those 3 are in Japanese only. Char's Counterattack is in English.
Yep.
I don't know why. But Char's
Well,
Counterattack is also going away. So all 4 of those, which are really one long story,
to be
those are
fair,
all
though,
going
the
away.
original trilogy, at least in America, was only released in English before it was being handled by Bandai.
Yeah. So
And
that's
then
like
when Bandai took over,
so
they
many
only did
licenses old.
Japanese. They
Yeah.
didn't do any kind of dubs.
So you can't really get the dub anymore for that unless you get really old cuts of like VHS and DVD, really old rips. I did not
Well,
watch them. I only saw the first couple minutes, realized they were Japanese, and I was like, huh, I wonder how many. And then as I was looking, Netflix was like, we have this other Gundam stuff, and I was like, oh, well, I never watched Seed completely. I never finished Destiny. But you made a new Gundam Seed Freedom thing last year. Might as well check it out. So I turned that on. That is dubbed, but I think it's the new cast for the dub because the old one have gone a long time ago. 20 years ago, that dub
right.
disappeared. But Gundam Seed Freedom, after watching about 15 minutes, I got the opening fight. It finishes, they start talking, and I'm like, I have no fucking clue what any of you are talking about. Shit. Okay, so fine. 100 episodes of anime. Maybe I missed a few points. I get it. I'm feeling incredibly lost. I know like
Well,
five
they
of
made
you.
condensed movies too.
What's that?
They made condensed movies for
But I
Seed
would
as well.
honestly rather watch the show, get the whole thing, because I didn't finish them completely back in the day. So it'd be fun to see all the parts, all the bits and pieces. I started the first episode of Gundam Seed, watched it completely. I like it. I did not realize until I was watching it that Gundam Seed is basically just UC-79, the original show. Like, it's really easy to line up
Yeah.
so many things and go, Jesus Christ, this is just a remake.
Yeah.
And it really was just a
I think
digitally
that's why I didn't
animated
finish.
2000, the year 2000 version of the
Where
original
they all had
show.
that distinct look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see, that's not one of its strong points. That's wear on me a little. The suits look amazing, but the characters look kind of funky sometimes. But that's an art style thing that
Mm-hmm.
they did on purpose. I don't think that held up as well over time, but eh, eh. It was nice hearing TM
It's
Revolution
weird
again.
jumping from that to Code Geass because they are
Yeah,
similar
in
in
how the
their
characters are
style,
built.
but Code Geass does it
The
better.
Code Geass also
Yeah.
matches closer to the drawing style of Clamp, the people who make all of
Yeah.
the Clamp stuff.
Mhm.
But I decided to watch
Yeah.
that, and so I did. And then I was like, you know what we never watched? Turn A Gundam. So I watched the first episode of that, so I guess now I'm playing the chip away at these 2 massive series at the same time. Yeah, no,
God.
that's I there's a part of me that's like I know that's how TV shows used to work and maybe that's what my brain is craving, like watch an episode, switch to another show, switch to another show, and then just like slowly watch them. It'll take 2 months, but I'll watch the whole thing of like 3 shows at the same time as TV used to do.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's kind of what my brain is craving. Like it doesn't necessarily want to because I don't really have the time to binge shows like I used to. That's not really a thing for me. So chipping away like that gives me like I got 20 minutes and then I watch a thing and then I move on. And I can choose to watch another one or switch to another show or whatever. But I watched both of those. I did not
Mm-hmm.
realize how fucking gorgeous Turn A Gundam is. God damn, that first episode looks way better than it has any right to. This also has like almost no robot. and the only reason I wasn't lost is because I know enough about the lore of Gundam to know what Turn A Gundam as a show is vaguely, but none of the specifics. But holy fuck, would you be lost? Like really goddamn lost. And I'm not even sure if the show's going to get around. I'm sure they'll say something, but boy, do they not tell you a goddamn thing and make it feel like you're watching a Ghibli film for an entire episode. You get 10 seconds of robot and then it disappears, and I'm pretty sure the first episode covers 2 years for characters. I swear to God.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, the only reason I know it's 2 years is because one, they half bury a robot, walk away and just leave it, and then they come back and it's fully buried, which is either they told it to do that or it's been 2 years and they told it to do that, so it's more buried, so there you go. But he at one point explicitly says, I'm 15, because they're doing some like rite of adulthood thing, because it's part of the thing, and they're doing it, and then he's an outsider, so technically he's not allowed, but also the girl he's standing next to is too young. She's like 13 or whatever, so she's quote unquote not allowed because only the older kids are supposed to go. It's supposed to be a very specific thing. And he specifically says, I'm 15 too, and they go, oh cool, well you can watch up to this point.
When everyone was confused all the way until you see his little thing. I thought
they're not.
I thought he was.
They always say he. The only people who fuck it up are the aloof, rich asshole who he works for, who calls him Laura, and someone literally says, "Wait, I thought his name was Lauren," and the girl immediately goes, "Oh no, it is." She just goes, "No, it is." Blondie over here just
that brings me
he's
back
so fucking.
To like the
I don't give a shit. He doesn't care.
Days where they end up intentionally doing that. And that really fucked with me because I was like, I don't know who this is, but they can't seem to make up their mind as to if it's a he or a she.
Yeah.
It's an in joke, but it also is a joke and this is because I happen to know this about the show, that is an in joke for something that happens later in the story where they dress him like a girl and he apparently manages to pass off as a girl.
All right, Cloud.
I guess, because he's pretty. Yeah, essentially, he gets the Cloud treatment and, all the good stuff, so he looks like a chick, and then fools all of the Krillins, and none of them know. And so...
I need context for
it doesn't help that his name... Yeah.
It's an... sadly, I know what it is, because I saw
It's a reference to Dragon Ball, and... you fucking... you disgust me, you call yourself a fan. I'm never letting you say that again. Anyways, his name is Lauren, Loran, but I guess that guy just calls him Laura a bunch because, he's blonde and rich and just doesn't fucking care. So he just gets it wrong a lot. Also, weird fun fact for you. Lauren is the darkest pigmented Gundam main character, like, ever. He has, like... dark brown complexion. Like he looks like on Earth, let's not talk about that. If he were an Earthling, he'd be like Brazil, South America, like very dark brown complexion. He'd be related to one of the peoples who lived in the area for a long time, not the Europeans who showed up a couple hundred years ago. He would be like kind of dark complexion, like that's what his skin naturally looks like. He happens to have white hair, which they do mention is kind of surprising, but it's anime. That's not even all that weird. But I apparently have decided to watch both of those shows. They are very different shows. One is basically a reimagining of UC-79, and the other is one of like 3 shows that Tomino has actually had input on, one of those being the original Gundam.
Yeah.
The other 2 are Turn A and Reconquista. Those are the only 3 Gundam shows that he's always involved, but when he had like really direct control of those 3, as far as I know. I might be wrong.
No, I think
but
you're
as
right,
far as I know,
I
those are the 3
too.
He was most hands-on with. Like he was obviously always involved. It's Gundam there, but he was just like suit designs and like big ideas and maybe directing, but not like writing them or creating them and like building. That was not his deal after the original. And then he kind of just oversaw Gundam. And it was a very take a back seat until Turn A, which is really fucking weird. in case you're wondering why I'm trying to say that I'm not confused, is because the storyline for Turn A is, I don't know what number and if they'll say it, but an amount of time in the future, Turn A Gundam is Universal Century, and it is the farthest forward that they go. It is so far forward that the moon is fully like settled, and the Earth has gone through a full-on civilization reset to where everything died, the Earth got fucking annihilated, regrew with vegetation and shit, and humanity is relearning all the crap that it already knew. It is redeveloping technology. For instance, they just got cars that you would have seen 100 years ago. They are just now getting them. They are just getting to biplanes and planes with multiple wings and one propeller. They are just getting to those. Those are brand new tech for them. But also,
Will, do you want to know a little secret?
Go. What?
It's not just UC.
Oh, okay. So it's technically all Gundam shows lead to Turn A.
Yeah.
So even weirder. I look forward to Tomino writing whatever the fuck that is at the end of the show. But that would also explain why they don't talk about colonies, but they would exist because they're like the moon is the only thing they talk about being civilized, kinda. Apparently, the moon has a bunch of propaganda about Earth that is entirely wrong. The three of them showed up and they're like, "Wow, this is nothing like we were told."
Oh man, are you saying that the moon is MAGA?
I'm gonna have to bleep and cut that out of the
We are
show.
gonna stay
Yep, we
away
are
from
cutting
any
that out of the
political-
show. I think I need to boot
political
someone from this
connections.
program. Damn. Well, that's our show this week, people. We will see you probably never. I'm gonna go plug my router and then delete all of my social media so that no one hunts me down and kills me. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Delete my browser history now.
But no, that's apparently what my brain decided to do. So I guess that's what I'm chipping away at while doing whatever for the things that we watch. I'm gonna be just like checking in on Turn A Gundam and Gundam Seed, and then theoretically, eventually Destiny, and then eventually Freedom. I will say,
and don't forget the Freedom prequel.
What?
They're making an anime prequel to Seed Freedom.
Oh, by the time that comes out and finishes, I will probably just then be able to watch it because I will still be finishing Destiny. I will say that personally, and this is a personal thing, I personally basically don't like any of the designs for Justice. I don't like Justice. I don't like Infinite Justice. I prefer Atherin's first suit in the show that turns into a giant hand and shoots a laser. I think every other one after that, the Aegis is his only good suit. All of the other ones after that are just fucking purple, and that's their only selling point. They have no special design, no special gimmick. They're boring because it's just purple. And I get what they were going for. I'm going to be honest
with you, too. I think the only ones that I like are Strike Freedom and Red Astray.
Oh, yes. Well, the Astray frames are fucking awesome. Astray Gold. So goddamn.
Yeah.
So the original 5 in Gundam Seed, the original 5 suits, all being unique and kind of like neat, worked really well. It got boring after that when they all kind of turned into carbon copies of each other. I understand that makes sense from a military perspective, but it's boring as shit as an anime fan when everybody's just in a color-coded suit. Oh, the pink one is her, the green one is him, the red one is that, the blue one is that, the gray one is this. It's like they're literally just colors of the rainbow, but they're all basically the same suit. That was kind of boring. I want to have like personality. If you're gonna go as hard as they did with Seed into like pseudo Gundam Wing personality of design type of thing, do something with it. Like you were there in the beginning and then you ran away from it. I don't know what that was, but opinion.
Hey, I enjoyed Noble Gundam.
Noble Gundam. Which one was that?
Oh, because you said Sailor. Shut the fuck up, Paul.
Okay.
It was the most.
It is the most Swedish of suits. How dare you?
I loved it.
That's so stupid. I love that one too, but it is not Swedish. It's okay. I never thought of ninjas as German, but we're not going to go there. Anywho, moving on to what we should actually be discussing. Did either of you watch The Chicken this week?
The Chicken?
Aren't we talking about 2 episodes of
Yeah, we are talking about 2 episodes because arguably the first they run together.
God damn it!
It's Gquuuuuux, you uncultured swine.
We're not going from chicken to swine.
Oh, why? You gotta go from pearls to swine?
We're not farm animals walking.
We're not farm animals? Look, George Orwell would probably like Gundam, okay? And he probably would. But that's neither here nor there. I think these 2 episodes of Gquuuuuux work together really well, but the first one is basically all preamble so that they can hit the gas so hard in the second episode you start feeling bad for people, and you're also a little bit of, did that guy die? Wait, where did that go? Are you going to answer any of these questions? And then they showed the preview, and they're like, hey, we're going to show you the rest of Char's backstory that we cut out. And I'm like, oh, well played. I'll see you in 2 weeks when you give me new story. God damn it.
The fact that we are even getting what we're getting now is amazing.
I know. This is such a good show. So let's about it.
So first things first.
First off,
you want to say? I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Do you? What was I going to say?
We fucking called it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yo, fuck yeah, we did. We called like 5 plot points. It was so wild. They even Castelia won. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit. How did we even get that right? Like, we got the rest, and then Castelia showed up, and I was like, what? Yeah. Also, Castelia, no mask, no weird outfit. I didn't know she had normal clothing. I swear to God, I thought she just had themed purple ninja outfits, and that was it.
Because she does show up in 0079 in the original series in a ninja outfit to a ball.
No.
She does show up.
That is her. Well, like that's her official. Like that's her official uniform for her office, like her rank. That is her personal uniform. Which, by the way, there are some militaries that kind of let that happen. When you're the fascist dictator in charge, you have much more leeway, which is what she is, technically, because she's a zombie. But she got to pick anything. Why did she pick Purple Ninja? No one else wears a mask. Wearing all of Gundam in the original show. Even Char's face is showing. It's just his eyes and his head that are covered.
Here's the thing. It's iconic.
It's weird. And mostly what's iconic is watching her head disappear. That is, at this point, the most well-known part about her.
I have a joke, but I was going to say, Char took the eyes, so she took the rest of the face.
Yeah, it's actually a good point. Char covered the eyes, and then she was like, all right, I'll cover the bottom half.
I do not.
Well, I will give him kudos for it. You may have half a kudos, sir, but you have to share the other.
But I will say this. They did so much with
You threw him off for that.
They did so much for these 2 episodes. They built up character. They built up
there's
backstory.
So much fucking happening.
I did not
they also
the end.
Murked the fuck out of... They introduced 2 unique characters with unique names and designs and proceeded to immediately murder them. And I was like, okay, we're going right in, aren't we?
So one of them was a character from Zeta.
Yeah. Which... Was it the guy in the Hammurabi?
Yeah.
By the way, their Hammurabi was a cool... I couldn't remember what the fuck it was called, but that was a cool design. I like a lot of the redesigns. Which I guess means we now have to talk about the redesigns. What about that Psycho, though?
Oh my god, Unit 1, Third Impact. Hell so fucking yeah.
Even before it went all Third Impact, it was such a cool version of Psycho. It's such a good design for it. It also, by the way, never touched the ground. It floated like 40 feet above the ground at all times because of its Psycho frame and all that other shit.
How much anxiety did you have the moment that it transformed and you're like, oh man, it's going to crush all those people. Oh, yeah. It didn't do anything. And then all of a sudden explosions everywhere.
So it transformed and I was like, a lot of these people are probably going to die. And then they proceeded to put the Psycho into Psycho Gundam. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought would happen. I get that this is a terrorist attack, but you guys are leaning in pretty on the dead civilians. I don't know why you think that's a good idea, but just as a heads up, murdering the civilians never goes over well. Maybe cut back on that a little. Like, do that later. Even the zombies didn't start with the child murder. They leaned into it after it was okay.
Am I going to be the only person who's going to say, I did not understand how well they did this episode because of how I had no real fear of the Psycho Gundam. I was more curious about everything else going on in the background.
Oh, there's so much happening.
How do you turn the Psycho Gundam?
They made the Psycho Gundam set dressing. That's it. It's just there. It's just like, oh, by the way, there's a Psycho Gundam, but don't worry about it. Over here, a main character is about to disappear.
Oh my god. So, all right,
okay,
hang on.
We're going really. Let's go back to the first episode.
Yeah, so the entire thing is that it's basically giving us an idea as to there's some sort of assassination plot going down against Cassilia. Yes. A lot of people are trying to form against her.
Well, not a lot. It's internal zombie strife. Because they mention that Giran explicitly wants to kill her.
Right, there's Giran, but there's also the guy who was originally from Zeta Gundam, the guy with the weird-looking goggles. He is part of the AU,
Federation Remnant is probably...
No, he's part of Titans.
He was, but in this, I think you would probably call them Federation Remnant, because they still kind of call themselves Feddies. And they mention that the Earth Federation is still around, because and this is... Look, props to the writing team, which would be Anno, but props to the people who looked at the world and said, but what if Zeon won? And rather than just being like, okay, now Zeon's in charge and they're all powerful, no. Zeon was the smaller force the entire time. It's why their attacks were so desperate for most of the war, because they started on the back foot and never really got off of it. They got lucky, and they won.
Why do you think they... dived into the whole fucking colony drop, man?
Yeah, that's the whole reason that happened, was because they had no fucking choice. Like, they were pretty much going to lose. They were underpowered and underfunded, and there was no way they were going to overpower the Federation, but they could hit them the right way at the right time and draw them out and essentially break them. But when they win, they point out that even after 6 years, you still have independent colonies. Jesus. Too much Gundam. Independent colonies. Independent colonies, which are sides in this, that are not affiliated with Zeon, and Zeon can't even exercise control if they wanted to. They could fly a ship in and take it over, and then as soon as they leave, they have no occupying force because they can't. And they have the ability to politically will them to join, which tells you that the Federation, while they lost politically and their leadership probably got dissolved and they did what they could, you would break them into pieces and they would totally turn into the proto form of AU Titans. They would be remnants of a much larger force, because the Earth Federation was fucking massive. They had a lot. There's a reason they were able to control the colonies from a distance successfully. So even when you win, it's not going to work unless you solidify power, and their big problem is in the ensuing years after the conflict, they did not at all solidify their power. Instead, they've done nothing but fall to infighting and personal grudges, and that has just allowed the rebels and rebellion to foment, and now they have to deal with it, to the point where a colony the fucking remnants for Earth Federation built the Psycho Gundam on their own, away from prying eyes. That is insanely impressive. I don't know how they managed that, but that's crazy to me that they were able to do. That's like a country would have to fund something like that. And they're doing it on their own, in their own little corner, on top of doing the human experimentation needed to artificially create new types, which is also a thing that they've now introduced. Her name was Du, which is just French for two, which is a reference to like...
Well, that means 4 still hasn't been established yet.
Yeah, which all of them with the numbers were clones of Puru, which is there was Puru, Puru 2, and then even going as far as Unicorn Gundam, one of the main characters in that is a Puru. She's, I think, like 16 or 17 or something like that. But she lived long enough to not be 9 in a combat mech. So, she got to live long enough to be like a teenager in a combat mech and murdering the shit out of everyone. Yeah, woo, Gundam!
They do reference in the second episode that they are charging the Zabi family for the colony, for the side that they dropped. They're charging them for it.
What?
They are charging them the price. They are trying to charge Zeon the price of how much that side that dropped fell. They want Zeon to pay it back. The dude who... Yeah.
Yes. Because it was an independent colony, and it wasn't part of the war. It got dragged in.
And they're trying to charge
they also mentioned that They mention how crazy it is that like Xeon won the war. Like, yeah, and now 5 years later, whatever, they're asking us to become investors in their plans because they can't even afford to keep the lights on. And he's right. Xeon has a very precarious. They're in a precarious position. The 1 year war is over, but they're not in control, which also means, depending on how the show goes, someone else is going to wind up bumping them off and taking over. I feel like we've already kind of shown Proto Titans, so they will actually name themselves probably something new. Or maybe they won't, and they'll just become Federation Remnant or come up with some new name. But that's definitely a thing that exists and is happening. Being led by former Federation commanders, as they showed that old guy who was Federation commander. So that's happening.
The MPs that were trying to establish their dominance over the colony and against Shalia's guy.
Well, okay, so the MPs work for the colony government. They're just total assholes and pricks, but they work directly for the colony. They technically are the only force that has legitimate authority over that colony because they work directly for the colony government. They're horrible people, but they are the cops for that colony. They are just incredibly heavy-handed and overly violent and racist and really shitty. But we got right. We called a bunch of shit. We called the them being mad about it. We called Castilia showing up. We got the Titans and Proto Zeta shit. Fucking so much happened, and it was just like, oh, cool, they're going in that direction. Also, holy cool, they're going in that direction, guys. It's gonna get fucking weird.
But you know what else was weird? The fact that Shuji is now officially gone.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like, are we just like stockpiling pilots? Like, are we gonna get to an episode where like a rift opens and then just a bunch of suits come pouring out and all the characters who've been eaten by the new type dimension like just fall out of it, and you have this like massive force of broken ass suits?
So what was interesting about that is Kita.
Kita, sorry.
Kara, God damn it, you're making me want to hate you again. You were doing fine for the last half hour. God damn it. Anyways, yeah, it was weird because with us having seen the movie, we know what happens to Char. His psycho frame ends up overloading to the point where he ends up being absorbed by the Kita through a process called a Zecnova.
We saw that in the second episode.
You don't officially see it in the second episode, though.
They don't actually show it. They say it. They say it happened, and then
okay.
Char is assumed dead, but Shalia is looking for him because technically they don't know he's dead. They're just assuming he is, because that part of the thing got deleted.
So seeing it actually happen to Shuji, it's like, okay, I could see why they would actually pull out this next episode, because then you can actually see what happened.
I'm hoping half of the episode is what we saw in the movie, and then the other half will be like, by the way, when you get pulled in, here's what you see, and they show like Char talking directly to Shuji or some shit. They like kind of explain what's going on.
That'd be really awesome, because
I really want them to explain it.
So my theory is, I mean, we've all seen Char's counterattack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
they save the world with friendship.
Of Char's counterattack happen?
So they die, and they turn into energy. They supercharge a psycho frame, it flies off, and then they put that psycho frame in a mobile suit later, and it just acts like a massive multiplier, and making that suit really strong.
So my theory is that basically they are taking whatever happened from Char's counterattack and applying it towards stuff that's happening now. So,
well, if that's true, then they're just
dead. The end of
Char's
counterattack was just a Zecnova.
Oh, they're going to retroactively pull Char's counterattack in and claim that was a Zecnova too.
Right.
Oh god, they're going to greatest hits all the characters from like multiple universes. Oh god.
Yeah.
They're going to go full fan service. Just fucking new Gundam comes in and just starts absolutely wrecking everyone. That cute toy you have there that's half my size.
At this point.
By the way, new Gundam's still one of the most broken fucking suits, along with Sazabi. Yes, both of them are so broken.
Yes.
No, wait, Hainu.
Well, Hainu technically only exists in book form, but yes. Yeah. Oh, God, wait, are they going to actually legitimately have Hainu and Nightingale for realsies?
I mean, we got a brand new Gyan, so why not?
Oh, that new Gyan was good, though. That thing was cool looking. I loved it. I really liked it.
Paul hated it, but I loved it.
Paul never liked the suit, so I get it. It's bell bottoms and fencing. It's weird.
It's just so much. Like, okay, I'll say this. That episode had so much in it. Like,
I know.
Honestly, it felt. If it didn't have that episode beforehand, and we thought we put it together as this is just like should have been just one full episode, it would have felt like input overload because there was the brand new Humbrabi that I kept waiting for it to transform. But still, it looks so fucking good standing next.
We got Shalia's that transform.
Speaking of transforming,
yeah,
fucking Shalia's mobile armor has a human mode. What the hell? What the fuck?
I thought that was
awesome. Was so badass. But what
I just saw what the thing looks like on its own. It looks ridiculous.
So what it looks like is it looks truly like a first generation thing. Like they built it and they went, okay, but it's basically a giant ship. We want to give it more utility. So they reformatted it in between the end of the war and now and gave it a human mode. And the human mode basically turns the entire original ship into a set of funnels that are attached to this thing.
It literally looks
also,
like
Shalia's broken as fuck. Holy shit, is he good at what he does.
He's basically a new type without being actually called a new type yet.
No, he's a new type. Yeah. They said he is. Yeah, he gets the same... Oh, by the way, Cassilia is a new type. We all saw that, right?
Yeah.
Cassilia is a new type? That's why she does all the research?
Oh, yeah.
And she heard the Psycho Gundam crying.
She heard the sound, and the person with her was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, all I hear is screaming, I think she said, because it's an artificial new type, and they're just filled with, like, pain and suffering. So, yeah.
Which also does explain how she knew who Char was.
Oh, yeah, no. She would have walked right up and been like, oh, okay. Well, so that's where that kid... Her brain probably went, oh, so that's where he went.
It's like the two antennas, reacting to each other.
Yep, just sitting there. Ah, okay. And she immediately thought, where's his sister?
So the end of the episode is where everything turns into a giant pivot in different directions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So we've got Neon.
Go on.
Oh, okay. So all I was just going to say is two things. One, Neon is...
Neon, silence.
Well, she's... I thought you were going to go off and explain more.
No. I was letting you do it, man.
Okay, so Neon, two things. One, she's actively wanted, and I'm pretty sure that was before. So she's wanted for the smuggling, but they essentially reference that she's a known issue, which means Neon has been on the run for a while, which is why she doesn't talk to people a whole lot, and why she doesn't make connections with people really. She seems really socially awkward out of necessity. So she's a war orphan, a refugee, used to being not liked, and basically does criminal shit because that's the outlet, the only avenue for her. She sees Shuji get Zek-Nova'd in the face and disappear, then proceeds to basically wander off, probably in shock and horror, and just leave the Gundam in the middle of the road. She just walks away. She winds up getting picked up by... look, they're really just on the nosing this a little bit. He shows up in a Gion that's all white, getting into the whole White Knight vibe. Yeah, they're leaning in, which he was already written that way, but man, they're just hitting that nail on the head. They're like, just so you know, White Knight. And I was like, yeah, I get it. I get it. But anyways, he works directly for Cassilia. And they think, turns out they're wrong, they think that Shalia was working for Giran. He was not. From Giran's, division, but once he worked for Char, he basically was like, fuck all my old affiliations. I love you more. Sorry, I mean, you're my Mav, or whatever. But he is essentially doing his own thing. When we get to the end, she gets picked up by the White Knight. The White Knight then proceeds to take her over to Cassilia, so now we're splitting the party, the D&D term. So Neon and White Knight Dude both work directly for Cassilia, who at this point wants to be in charge, but honestly, out of all the zombies, I think I'd rather have her in charge. She seems way more stable and way less insane than most of the zombies. A lot less self-indulgent rich person, and a lot more just she's there, and she kind of just she probably wants the fighting to fucking be over, so she's like, can we just solidify and stop? But she has decided to not consider Shalia as a threat because he's not working for Giran, because he would, and this is true, he would not have gone as hard stopping the assassins from killing her. If he was working for Girin, he would have killed them, but he would have been like, "Oh, I was just too late. They fired and killed her. Oh no." Because that is way too convenient a scapegoat to just not let happen.
He came in all epic. He came in pretty epically.
He did. He came in and was like, "Did you guys know that I used to fight in the war? And I'm a real new type?" And she's like, "We're real too." "No, you're not." And just proceeds to fucking murder her. And I was like, "Ooh, oh, we're gonna vaporize both of them." Okay, well, no body. They're dead.
So, just to interject here real quick.
Her ass.
All of my buddies that that I talk to on a regular basis, besides you guys, I'm like, you really need to watch Gquuuuuux. They're not watching it. They have it against me, to not watch anything that I recommend. I'm like, all right, fair, whatever.
Sir, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I know. But so what I decided to do was like, you know what? They uploaded that specific fight scene of the Psycho unleashing itself.
Oh yeah, and then just getting steamrolled.
Like, they uploaded that to YouTube. I sent everyone a copy of that. I'm like, there's no subs, it's raw. Just watch the animation. Every one of them were just floored.
It's phenomenal. And the whole show is going to be that. Like, they've been building up to get you used to the cast and the characters. Also, side note, Anki is a former Zeon officer. Straight up left Zeon and is in a third-party colony so that they don't find her. So we were right about that too. God damn.
Yep.
Okay, and she...
I did not expect Machu to pull a gun on her,
You know the best part about that? She legitimately thought Machu wouldn't fire, and I was like, that doesn't feel like the gamble you should take with Machu. She's a little unhinged, and I was right. She almost got shot, and Machu was like, God damn it, and ran away. And Anki's just like... Okay, life flashed before my eyes. Maybe I shouldn't push the child into murder. Fuck. That was the look of someone who wildly underestimated her opponent. Whoops.
So Machu ends up finding her way back to the Gquuuuuux.
It wakes up on its own.
And is now flagged as a terrorist.
It wakes up on its own. You guys saw it turn on without her or the Haro anywhere near.
Yes.
It literally... She went, oh no, and it fucking moves its head, and they're like, holy shit, the robot's moving! And I was like... It bonded with her.
To pick her up.
The giant robot loves her, and now they're gonna murder the fuck out of a lot of people. Oh, it's just so. The last time that they did this, far as I know, the last time they've had the robots like show even an inkling of that is like fucking Gundam Wing. They never have the robots have like AI really. I don't know if they did in Unicorn because that was more like a wild, weird amplifier. But the robot didn't have its own like thoughts. But they're doing the thing where, like, it's filled with psychoframe juice, so when you pump it full of new type juice, it kind of, like, borderline starts to think. Not, like, think, but, like, it'll react to you. Oh, fuck, I just realized.
Yeah, I think it was just resonating with her, and basically her thought to protect herself. It grabbed her.
He did also have to talk her down, because she was starting to spin herself into a frenzy, and...
she almost
Shalia. Yeah, well, Shalia told her, "Hey, you need to like not do that. That's bad. Don't do that. Don't do that." And then she kind of like is like borderline passing out in the suit as she slowly stops losing her mind because she was chased by like 8 MP units shooting at her, busted an arm.
Just to circle back real quick, when Shuji Zeknovad, it wasn't in the suit.
No.
He was standing outside talking to Mian.
He floated up to it because it was basically like projecting a shitload of energy, and he could hear it talking to him. And as it started spinning itself up to get into that Zeknova blip moment, he like floated up, turned around, and willingly went over to it, and then they both disappear. Along with like 40 feet in every direction.
So this show is just fucking wild.
Oh god!
Also,
so
the Gundam lives off of pilots. It needs a pilot. It needs a pilot's soul.
Oh, is that what we're going with? I asked about that. Like, are we feeding pilots to the Gundam? It just like appears to people and is like, I need you to get stronger so I can eat you.
Oh shit! You know what I just realized?
What?
What if? And hear me out.
Oh boy.
What if the Red Gundam is actually Devil Gundam?
That sounds a little too stupid. This is too UC for that.
Fuck you.
That's too.
If there was some more hot-bloodedness, I would be down for that.
This is a little bit of a.
But at the same time,
as weird as this show is, it's I think a bit too grounded for a giant alien organism robot that infects people and other robots to make them into their mindless slaves, and then you have to punch it with your fighting spirit to win.
Yeah, but they could also just, fucking rename it and then have it inherit some of the characteristics without being a
You're also you are not entirely wrong. I think I like the direction you're going. I was going to say, what if the Red Gundam, what if we're not wrong and the Red Gundam basically eats pilots, and by the end of the show it grows. Physically it splits apart into a body horror Gundam abomination and they have to kill it.
So you're saying, what if the Red Gundam is Eva Unit 1?
I guess we've already had Third Impact. Thank you, Ano.
Yeah. Oh, man.
We already got
so
fucking Third
ways
Impact.
This show can fucking go. I cannot wait.
You can feel his touch on a lot of the weird shit. Why do the Gundams have 4 eyes? Well, because there's this show called Evangelion. And I don't know how to tell you this, but
Man.
The guy who wrote that kind of did the George R.R. Martin El Ring thing, where he basically wrote the prequel to Gquuuuuux. He's not involved, I think, too much with the show itself, but he was super involved with the movie. He was supposed to, by the way, write an episode and have that be episode 0, and he wrote a fucking movie. He handed them back 4 times what they asked for. They were like, we just want an episode. This is really thick for an episode. Oh my god, this is a movie. Why'd you write a movie? and he did. He wrote a fucking movie. He just went a little hard, and they were like, okay, I guess we'll just straight up make a movie then.
So, at this point, Machu has been branded as a terrorist, and
she has.
Now
her mom's definitely going to get thrown in jail. Are you guys looking forward to the episode where her mother gets tortured to death, and Machu gets, a notification about her dying? And then has to go through the trauma of accidentally getting her mother killed.
I can see that happening.
That's a very tell me no thing to do.
Blackmailed.
Her fucking mom just dies off screen.
Already gone tragic ways. I can see it happening.
God, she gets the news mid-battle.
No, I could literally see Matu is going to get notified by the MPs of that side because that side is trying to get immunity from Zeon and take the Gquuuuuux as their own and make Zeon pay some restitutions to them. And
I mean, they do. Okay, legitimately, they do owe them money for the massive fight that broke out only because Cassilia was there. So it is Zeon's fault. That colony did nothing wrong, so they truly do owe them for that. They're like, you know how many people died? You blew up 5 city blocks with that massive throwdown you had against whatever the fuck that thing was. The glowing human with the floaty stuff around it. Yeah, how do you explain that?
Purple and gold glowing human.
Yeah.
I am 98% sure that the entire plot on Cassilia was orchestrated by Cassilia.
What?
I am pretty sure.
No, she came too close to dying. The Psycho was winning, and if Shalia hadn't been there, she would have been dead.
I don't think the Psycho Gundam was winning.
Oh, it was? It was crawling up the side of the building.
Decimated all the MPs that were in the area.
They died immediately.
Yeah.
they just disappeared.
Yeah. What
they
were
the fuck useless.
Are you on?
Honestly, I never thought she was in any actual danger, because if the Psycho Gundam wants to destroy a single building, I'm sorry, I've played Gundam games. I've seen the Psycho Gundam doing shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you played Dynasty Warriors Gundam. That's
by the way,
completely different.
I've never played Dynasty Warriors Gundam. I've played Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. I've played every other Gundam game.
And they're essentially the same.
And any other Gundam series as well, whenever there is literally a suit that big, all you know is if that thing wanted to destroy a building, one of its hand lasers would have been able to blow up that entire building.
We don't know how much destruction it actually caused other than what was on screen, because you see all the explosions.
Those hands look like the Zeongs.
You see all the different things across this, across the way where you see all the different explosions going off. I am pretty sure that there's a gaping hole in there somewhere.
So it didn't get through the actual the floor that they're on, the foundation. It didn't blow a hole in the colony, but it pretty much decimated. I don't know, probably 4 digits worth of civilians, I have to assume, based on like there would be fires afterward,
Yeah.
there would be residue, a bunch of buildings got annihilated, a bunch of other stuff happened. Like the fight probably caused death toll in the hundreds, probably breaking 1,000.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could definitely
I
see that.
honestly, and given how well the
It's
show has
just
been written so far, I would like to see at least like a nod talking about like the death toll of this tiny, like blaming the zombies as like an upswelling, like a groundswell of sentiment against them, where like the Titans and people like that can reach out to that colony and go, hey, because the colony doesn't know what went on, they just know the fight occurred. Because the zombies are going to shut the hell up and they're not telling anyone. They have so little control that people are building massive like city-ending robots and they have no way of stopping, like they have a way of stopping it, but they almost lost one of their family members to that. That looks really
you got
bad.
it.
That makes you look really weak.
No, you
Hmm?
literally got it. Clan bat. I'm pretty sure that side is
Oh,
not
that
the
has
only
clan bat.
one
Oh
that's
yeah, no,
using
no,
it.
that definitely happens other places. The president of the colony said, "Why are the MPs chasing down clan bat? Do you know how much money we make from it? Clan bat makes the colony money. It's illegal as fuck, and they make a shitload of money on it."
Yeah, but I can imagine a
Hmm.
anti-Xeon group like the
in
Titans
in trying to enroll all of the clan
using
bat people
that.
and being like, "Hey, you're really good at this. How would you like to strike a blow against the people who basically screw you over all the time?" Because all the people involved in clan bat are on
No,
the lower
no,
end, except for the companies.
no. I'm talking about them using old Xeon
Hmm.
pilots to do that, and using that as a reason to say that the zombies
Ah, yeah,
and
yeah,
Xeon
yeah.
isn't
Because
doing their part and
they can
create a
create a false narrative.
false.
I don't know, man. That sounds like some QAnon shit. I don't know if I can go with that conspiracy.
Jeez, why do you keep
I
bringing
don't
up
know.
trigger words?
You're
He
triggering
really
me.
likes that studio. Anywho, uh, I really enjoyed both of these episodes. I am fully enjoying this show. This is one hell of a beautiful reimagining of the messy, weird world
Oh
of
yeah.
Gun. This is exactly what I wanted out of a new Gundam show that like looks back at the original and goes, "Let's play in that little wheelhouse. Let's have some fun with it and kind of mess with it. Shake it up." Because they've been retelling the original stories so many, so many, so many times. And yes, telling new ones like Witch from Mercury, Iron Blooded Orphans, they're going off on their own, but it's nice to revisit UC and not just tell another UC story, but tell a like really weird, very weird reimagining of the story, and then also lean into some of the original themes that they've never. Gundam has never really addressed. I haven't watched every Gundam show and read every book and all that, but it feels like new types are one of those things that they kind of mostly use as a buzzword and then like an explanation of how good a pilot is, but they
They
don't
use it as a gimmick.
they don't really lean
They
into
use it as a
like
gimmick.
what does it mean to be a new type? Not like, oh, he's a new type, that's why he's so good. Okay, but what is a new type? What else is there? It's not just my reaction times are better than yours, because a fucking robot could do that, and I'm not exaggerating. You can just program a computer to do that. You could do that now. Like, that's not impressive. That's not the explanation. The explanation is it's a new, like, frontier for human perception. And then there's all of these implications that go with it. Because the people involved, it involves the perception, it involves emotion, connection, it involves people being thrust into war, but still having to experience this. It involves children growing up on the battlefield and in a war torn society. There's all sorts of cool things involved there. So it's nice to see that. In the same way that Iron Blooded Orphans has no bullet button, they just have a horrifyingly, potentially debilitating surgery that can make you better because it links you more directly with the robot, and that still has a bunch of negative things. And that's it. They don't have the magic bullshit new type stuff. I like that, but I also really like the direction the show is going, where we're getting a wild new reimagining of everything. The suit designs are also top notch. I really enjoy how weird they're getting because they're not just making a shiny new iteration of a thing. They're going their own way, giving us three-legged doms and weird puppeteer thing that Shalia Bull was in, which has all sorts of connotations with its design and the way it's put together, and the fact that this whole thing is connected by cables, which is the whole idea of being a puppet on a string, which is technically what he's trying to avoid the entire time by playing all the sides against him, and just a whole bunch of beautiful connotation to the design of certain things and characters and all that. But anyway, I really like that. I would say that you guys really like the Gquuuuuux as well.
Yeah,
I like the fact that they show love and homage to the original while also bringing in new aspects and not just regurgitating.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is its own creation.
Yep.
It's almost like you're a fan of Evangelion, Paul. It's almost like it.
Oh no. Oh no. That's not really the words that he was using.
Did I say anything about...
Well, okay. You want to go about trigger words?
There's a word that has to be bleeped. I mean, he's not also entirely wrong. I have seen the movie, Sean, and there are some very uncomfortable scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna watch Evangelion. You're gonna have to get me.
We will
seriously.
Get to that. I think we will start with something a little lighter, like something that's Evangelion-esque, but not Evangelion, and then we'll ease Paul into the world of Eva.
You mean like SSSS Gridman?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I think that's a little too much easing because that's really far apart. But yeah, we can do that.
It's done by trigger.
Anywho, did you guys go ahead and watch another show, mostly,
so before
over the last
we get into that,
few weeks?
I want to make this as a quick break because I have a feeling I'm going to need to split this into 2 episodes.
Don't blame me. Blame Gquuuuuux for finding its point.
Yeah. So.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God.
If anything sounds disjointed, sorry, people. It's just because we really enjoyed what we were talking about. If anything, here's an ad, and then the ad that I'm going to be playing is going to be what I'm going to get you fuckers to record.
Okay. Question: do you want me to stop this recording
nope, keep going.
and
keep going?
Okay. Keep going. Got it.